Hey guys, I'm starting early. It's just 2 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I can't sit here no longer. Yeah, I'm having that kind of day. Y'all hold on. There we go. All right, so hopefully everybody's having a good day, good weekend coming up. I know for some of y'all have had enough rain, and for some of us, we got more coming. We are not like Texas and everywhere where they're flooded still, but we do have more rain coming, which is definitely going to affect us getting more crops on the ground. Yeah, the ground is not dried out enough to plant from the last rain. It's dried off in some places, but the places I want to plant, of course, have not dried up. And that's kind of why I like to plant in those places, because they hold the moisture a little bit longer and I don't have to water as much. But they are not drying out enough to plant in. So I actually forgot that I was going to go live tonight, and I'm itching because I've been outside and working and stuff. And Mark called and said, "You going live tonight?" I said, "Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, I guess I am." So here I am. Anyhow, so let me go in and say hey to everybody and take that off. There we go. So, hey, Mr. Creel. Hey, Mr. Gary. Hopefully you're doing better. Hey, Miss Denise. Hey, Mr. Don. Mr. Wendell. Mark D. Katie G. Mr. Blaylock. Good to see you in the house, too. Sharon. Miss Lisa. It'd help if I could see. Mr. Ken Shivers. Hey there. Deb Bryan. And I think that might be everybody at the moment. So, anyway. So, hey, everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry. If you haven't commented or anything yet, hey. So, here we all are. I have a book that I got in, and it's a pretty interesting book. I have not dove into it fully yet. Like I said, I just got it in. And it is a hardback book. Let me see if I can find its published date. This one is 1998. This is the first edition, I think. It says first edition on the front, but for some reason I thought it was the second edition. But this says it's first edition. So it's actually, like I said, it's actually pretty cool. Now, this does not have pictures in it. So if you're a picture person, this is not going to be the book for you. However, if you want to know what the doctors think of your herbs and things, this is the book to do. Hey, who everybody that I've missed, because I know I missed somebody. I see somebody saying hey to Mr. William. There he is there in the comments. And hey to everybody else that I have missed, like Miss V. I guess I missed too. But anyway, here we go. Today's book, PDR for herbal medicine. What is this? What is PDR? Physician's Desk Reference. Pretty interesting. Like I said, I just got it in. This one's hardback, and y'all can see there are a few pictures, but there are not many pictures. But there is a lot of information in this book. And like I said, right now I'm just trying to kind of look at it a little bit and see what I think of it. But so far, it is pretty interesting. So one of the things when I was looking through here is it had like a place where you can look at what you want to treat. Let me see if I can find that spot again. Of course, I have closed the book. Because first thing I opened it up to was this page. Hang on, guys. Side effects. No, hopefully that's not it. Drug interactions. Herbal monographs. So that's where this starts. So I don't know what I was looking at, and what I may have been looking at is drug interactions. Okay, so yes, drug interactions is what I was looking at. And plantain, a specific type of plantain, interacts with insulin. I did not know this. So which plantain interacts with insulin? Specifically, Plantago isfagula or Plantago ovata. What is the common name of that? Psyllium. Psyllium. That's a common name for that plant. I was a little shocked because I did not know that plant was in the plantain family, but it is. Hey, Miss Jean. Hey, Mr. Billy. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Jeff. Hey, everybody else that I have missed because I can't read these comments. But so that is one of the plants listed in this book. And psyllium, which we take for fiber, is a common herb grown in some places. Hey, Mr. Randall. It is in the plantain family. It's commonly known as blonde plantain, I think, or something like that. Indian plantain, sand plantain. So when we talk about make sure you're properly IDing your plants, this is what we mean. Make sure that you are getting the same species that it recommends too, because in the plantain family, like I said, I did not know that psyllium husks was in the plantain family, but it is. Now, which species is broadleaf plantain? Lanceolata. Plantago lanceolato. That's the one most of us see out in the yard. That has a lot of herbal benefits as well. But that's what we mean. That's why we keep saying make sure that you're identifying your plant properly, because not every variety of the same plant is medicinal either. For instance, let's talk about the nightshade family. How many people know PDR must be taken? Yes, it is provided by the drug manufacturer. Yes. And that's why I said, if you want to know what your doctor thinks, that's this. But yeah, so how many people know what the nightshade family plants are? I just want to know who the first person to take a bite of a nightshade plant and say, oh, this is yummy, because nightshade, and a lot of people don't know it, nightshade is tomatoes. Nightshade is potatoes. They are both the same family, believe it or not, just different species. Nightshade is ground cherries, sunchokes, tomatoes. Yes, that is my favorite nightshade family member. But then there is also the typical plant that everybody knows of as, well, not everybody, but there's a plant out there that is actually the poisonous nightshade. And I just, like I said, I want to know who the first person was to go out there and say, oh, let's test this nightshade and see if it's edible. After everybody died eating other types of nightshade. So when we talk about know your plant, that's what we mean. Make sure you are properly identifying your plant for whatever it is that you're treating, and make sure that you've got the right variety, because not all varieties of nightshade will do what you need it to do. Some of them are very poisonous. So today's plant, and I haven't even pulled up the information on it yet. I pulled up for red clover, but not for white clover. Clover is the trifolium family. Hang on, guys. I'm actually going to go into this book and see what it says, because I did look, and the white clover is not in here, but red clover is, and they kind of have the same medicinal benefits. And I'm blind at the same time, just so y'all know. Trying to do this without glasses really stinks. All right, so red clover. Like I said, they both kind of have the same similar uses. So medicinal parts are the dried and fresh flower heads. Now, some people use the leaves as well, but there's really no medicinal in the leaves. It's all in the flowers or the seeds. So let's see. Leaf stems and roots. It does say you can use the limb, stems, and root, but the medicinal parts is the dried and fresh flowers. So actions. It is a volatile oil. It has benzols. Well, now I'm misreading this. So y'all, hang on. This is why you don't read the medicinal version, because it's a little harder to read. It has antispasmodic and expectorant effects, which I did not know that clover was an expectorant. So, yeah. Here, let me just do it this other way. Let me just pull up my usual Google. And I actually did it already. So, white clover has blood purifying properties. It has isoflavones with anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. Potential benefits for conditions like gout, fevers, and colds, hence that expectorant part. It's also being explored for its potential in treating certain cancers and enhancing wound healing. Did not know that either. You can take an infusion of the flowers and use it as an eye wash. Improved bone health, possibly. Interactions, important to consult if you have health conditions and taking medications. Don't take it if you're pregnant and breastfeeding. If you have a history of breast cancer, you should also avoid white clover because it may have estrogen-like effects. So keep that in mind. Side effects include rashes, nausea, headaches, increased risk of bleeding, especially if you're on blood thinners. So just different things to think about. I look up everything I look at. I don't just take one book and go with that. I kind of get a broad list of everything, and the things that get repeated, then you kind of know that's a good thing. So that's kind of how I go about it. But I will say this, a lot of herbs and things, I don't know if y'all have caught a trend, but a lot of the herbs and things that I've talked about on the shows, they kind of all treat some of the same things. A lot of them treat inflammation. A lot of them treat headaches. A lot of them treat colds, wounds. A lot of them are antiviral or antibiotic, or they have the astringent properties. A lot of them cross the same lines to treat the same things, but it's just like medication. One may work for you, but it won't work for the other person. It depends more on what's causing your problems. So that's our book of the day and our herb of the day. Clover. Let me pull it out of the book. I marked the place with it. Because like I said, I did not know that plantain family is where psyllium come from. Did not know that. So you learn something new every day. All right, let's see what we got going on in chat. Ducks love snails, but I won't be eating me neither. Nope. Nope. Gin washes or not. Nope. I don't care. I'm not eating a snail. Not playing with snakes. Not playing with spiders. Pat, blue-eyed, posted the picture of the bacon-wrapped murder hornets. That's a no. We can talk about food. I don't mind. But bacon-wrapped murder hornets will not be on that list. That's a no. All right. So what all have we done this week? Well, who was the first person to eat a snail, right? Anything you got to wash that many times ain't worth eating. We can talk about chitlins even. If you don't know what chitlins are, look it up. They are spelled chitterlings. That's a big no. Yep, a lot of people having issues. Hey, Miss Barb. Hey, Mr. Randall. Hey, everybody I have not spoken to yet. See if I can go back up and catch some people. I think I've said hi to everybody. If I haven't, I am sorry. But yeah, if y'all got prayer requests, please put them in the comments. Yeah, I'm not eating oysters neither. I'm allergic to shellfish, and even though it's not a fish, it's in a shell, I'm not touching it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh, sassafras tea. That's made with the roots. I want to make sassafras tea myself, but did you know, and a lot of people can tell you, sassafras leaves is what makes the filet for gumbo. dry them, powder them, and there you go. You have a good night, Miss Barb, or watch later when you do. It's not going to be a very long show. I don't have a lot to talk about. I am hot. I am sweaty. And all that good stuff. Mountain lion is the best. Yeah, I don't know. It is a white meat. I did not know that. Hey, Greg. Huh. Did not know that. 2 sassafras trees in our yard close to a tree line. Well, like I said, sassafras tea and stuff is usually made from the roots. So, just saying. Hard to harvest roots from a tree you want to keep. Yes, I did. I worked in the garden just a little bit. I went out there long, though. Went out there and watered those tomatoes that I wasn't supposed to be planting. We had a friend that Mark works with that gave us 12 tomato plants. And of course, we had to get them in the ground because, yes. I think it was actually Pat that told us about the sassafras. Our ground is not very dry where I want it to be gardening. So, yeah. It's still too wet to soften up again. So I kind of had to make a judgment call, and we just put the black plastic down and put the plants in it. 12 tomato plants. We have Brandywine, 6 Brandywines, and 6 Better Boys, and 2 black cherries. So hopefully they'll grow. I know the ones we planted last year, the hornworms pretty much ate them down because I couldn't get out there to pick the bugs off of them last year. And I don't know how this year is going to be. I'm expecting it to not be much better. Hey, Misty. Hey, Miss Tammy. So hopefully this year, I've already given them a little bit of fertilizer. Hopefully they'll do good, but I'm not expecting them to thrive in the care that they are going to get this year. The sweet potatoes, we got those planted. We showed you that on the live last week, the surprise live we did. They are struggling. So I have never been a person that likes to grow anything in water. I like to put them in dirt. If they root, they root. If they don't, they don't. But I was hoping to have them in the ground a lot quicker than we did. So we put them in cups of water. I should have put them in pots of dirt because I don't know if y'all know anything about. Mr. Robinson, I have been seeing your stuff, so it looks delicious. Same for Phyllis and them. They put up some zucchini, I think it was, and it all looks delicious. And I ain't even got, my plants are this big. So, snow on the 4th of July? I don't think so. That's a no, Miss Jean. That's why I live in the South. That is why I live in the South. Hey, Jesse, how are you? Yeah, no. Jeez. Yeah, you can keep that. What was I saying? The sweet potatoes. So roots. When you start stuff in water, the roots that they sprout are specifically, I call them water roots, because they are designed to live in water. And when you take that root and you thrust it into dirt and it has to learn how to actually take up water, you're going to get stress. And let's just say we got stress right now because we took those roots that had been sitting in water since we got them. A tornado warning. Y'all be careful. Be safe. Everybody around you, I hope, is safe as well, Miss Judy. When you take those roots from water and you put them in soil, they don't take up water as well, and they've got to relearn. So we have stressed plants. We've already lost a couple of them. I'm hoping that we have several survive from each of the varieties, because I just want to at least have, if the potatoes are good, I want to at least have some for next year to grow our own sprouts from. And we'll just pretty much shove the sweet potato in the ground, and cut the flips off of it as it roots. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is the ability to have our own plants grown next year. We did that one year in the past, and it was pretty cool. All those that sprouted over winter, we just took those slips and put them in the ground. So I'm hoping that with the purple sweet potato, the white yam, and at least one of the two regular Centennial or Bunch Puerto Ricos, that we get some that we can sprout for next year. So we'll see. Hopefully it happens. If it don't, it don't. We'll have to just order more slips next year. But I really like being able to be self-sufficient. So yeah, I don't want no snow, guys. That's why I live in the South. I will not live above zone 7. No, just no. I have gotten some water lilies seeds, and I have made a little pond in a bucket with a little solar sprinkler on it. So hopefully that'll do pretty good, and we'll have some pretty blooms for later. We have all of the lilies about to bloom now. The daylilies are starting. They're putting on their buds. The Asiatic lilies are putting on their buds. The one that is surprising me the most of the lilies, though, is the Easter lilies. Here it is, mid-May, and they're just now about to bloom. Easter lilies. Yep, just about to bloom. All of the roses, the knockouts, are just going crazy. Didn't matter. Oh, I know. That was just the wildest thing ever. But see, it came and it went. And it wasn't in July. Snow. No. As long as it comes, dumps, and leaves, we're good. But if I got to deal with it like forever, that's a no. You Judy chopped. I like that, Greg. Judy chopped. All right. Anybody got any questions about gardening, herbs, animals that I might could answer? Apparently, Misty's goat never had kids, so that's old news now, but still. What y'all want to talk about? Because I ain't got much of nothing today. Yeah, them kids would have been staying for me too. We would not have drove all the way there for them not to want to wait. They would have stayed. Bigfoot, please. Bigfoot's going to be the Knights at Marks there. Miss Ray, because I don't have a ton of experience with Bigfoot to talk about. So, yeah. Let's see. Talk about hilling potatoes. Fungicide for tomatoes. Fungicide for tomatoes. Yeah, they make fungicide for tomatoes. I don't use much of it. Depends on if they need it or not. We try to grow with as little of that sort of stuff as we need. If you keep them spaced out enough, they should not like spread really bad. Miss, who was it that had the tornado warnings? I know tomorrow we're going to have some bad weather tomorrow. Where you're at, you're going to have it earlier than we are. So, Mr. Adam, that is. So yeah. They make anything with copper in it and sulfur. I think those are your copper sulfate, I think, is your fungicide. So they sell it like Walmart and Tractor Supply and places like that. Again, like I said, if you space them out, give them plenty of air, you shouldn't have that much of a fungus problem with your tomatoes. If you didn't space them out and you've got tons of moisture issues going on and no airflow, then yeah, you're going to want to get some of the fungicide and apply it. Hilling potatoes. Hilling potatoes. I don't have a ton of experience with hilling potatoes, but as it grows, you want to cover it up. Leave about that much. Just keep covering it up and up. That's why I plant in the bottom of a bucket, and then I don't hill it because I went ahead and filled the bucket up when I put it in the bottom of the bucket to start with. Greg's cooking. Oh, man, Greg's cooking. Yeah, that was some good food. I just love food. So, Greg, you can put your cooking in here. Do I make dandelion jelly and lilac jelly? If I had plenty of time to pick the dandelions and the lilacs, yes, I would. I know how to make them. You basically make them the same way you do clover jelly and kudzu bloom jelly. I've heard people making rose blossom jelly. They basically, all you do is you take the buds, the petals, put them down in a pot of water, boil it, make a tea from it basically, and then add sugar and pectin, because there's not any pectin in there to start with. So you have to add plenty of sugar, and you add your pectin to it too, and you cook it to a certain temperature for a certain amount of time, and it sets when you jar it. It is awesome tasting stuff. I made marigold jelly, and that was actually pretty interesting. That is when we are doing our fire pit night at Holland's. Anything else? I know they're doing a private thing, so keep that in mind. Let's see. Working tonight. Yeah, Mark's at work. Yeah, because of the heat and the humidity that y'all have. Yeah, it probably is. But like I said, yes, Stacy, you keep mounding it up as they grow taller. Like I said, I haven't hilled a potato in years. Not since I was a kid, because when I found out you could plant them in the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket and then fill that bucket on up and they'd grow up through the top, I quit hilling them. And that is exactly where I am. Okay, yeah, good. Try to prune some of the leaves out too, that we've got some airflow. But like I said, I think it's copper sulfate. Panama, is it Panama Jack? No, Captain Jack. I can't remember. But he's got a really good product that you can put on your plants. If you've got that much of a problem with your tomatoes, you're definitely going to have that problem with your cucumbers. The powdery mildew on all of your pumpkin type plants and squash and cucumbers is pretty bad with those. All right, let's see. We've grown Beauregard. Beauregard's almost all you can get. That's what I always did in the past. Just leave the last little bit of leaves up on top and just keep doing it. Oh, yes. By all means. Yes. I need to come down your way just for the food. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Standing Stones. Hey, everybody that I have not said hello to. Have I used any of that on plants? Well, got an ant off of me from where I was outside. I apologize. I have not used turmeric on my plants because turmeric is valuable. It helps with that inflammation and everything, and turmeric is too valuable for me to put on plants. Milk, same thing. Milk's too expensive from the grocery store to water plants with, or to use as a medicine. Castile soap is good. Pretty much what it does is it drowns any type of soap. Castile being a good organic type soap. Any type of soap, all that it really does is it breaks the surface tension of water to where things sink instead of floating. So when you say, did you use Castile soap on the plants? No, but I put soap in like other mixtures to where it's a sticker and allows everything to mix better. And I've used it in water because it allows, say you have a plant that it's dried out, it's in a pot or a basket, hanging basket especially, and it will not take up water anymore. You water it and then the water just goes straight out the bottom and the water doesn't take up anymore. You take that basket and you set it in some water with just a little tiny bit of soap in it, that soil will stop being hydrophobic and it will start bringing in the water to the soil again. I don't know how that works, but again, it's that surface tension. It's kind of how shampoo works with your hair. It allows your hair to actually get wet for the shampoo to do its job. The soap doesn't actually clean. It just breaks the surface tension of the water to where everything else can do its job. So, yep, that's what we do. We'll dump the potatoes at the end of the season and then just pick the potatoes out, save it for next year. You know what I did hear about Mr. Ken along this line? I was reading where in another country, they collected the rabbit pee and sprayed it on their plants as a pesticide. I have rabbits. I need to try that. I keep saying I'm going to try that every single year, but once I went to work, I'm not at home enough to do the things I want to do anymore. There's a reason all these chemicals and everything were created, even though they're not good for us. It's because it helps lower the amount of work you have to do. Because if you didn't have a pesticide that prevented the stuff to start with, you'd be out there every single day picking pests. Well, that's where we are. We're out there every single day picking pests when I don't have time to be out there every single day picking up pests. And so things are getting bug eaten and we're just living with it. Same for the deer. We don't have a deer deterrent out there, unfortunately. And so I don't get to grow things like I want to grow this year. And it is really, 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 really bothering me that I can't do the things I want to do. But I've got to pay off some of these bills to where I can go back at the farm full time. So that's kind of where we're at. Get the camper paid off, get the truck paid off, get the tractor paid off. And then I'll be back on the farm full time and I can do all the things that I want to do. But yeah, if you have rabbits, try it because I heard that it really, really works. Now, will it work for deterring deer? I don't know, but it supposedly deters like insects and stuff. It's wild to think of it. And they didn't, I think that they diluted it a little bit with water, but I don't know. I'll have to find that video again and see if I can learn some more about that too, because that's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, that was actually, yeah. And yes, we do that. We do our raised beds full of rabbit poop. Now, the only thing that rabbit poop is not good for is those potatoes. Anything that's a root crop, the rabbit poop holds a lot of moisture and it rots the root crop. So we tried planting potatoes in the rabbit poop one year and it did not go well. There was no, yeah, you're going to have to put nets on yours or put up shiny stringers and things like that to keep the movement of the shiny stringers makes the birds go away, basically. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I think they diluted it a little bit. But you know what else? That rabbit pee is also a source of nitrogen. So if you were to pour it in your compost and let it break down a little bit, there's nitrogen too. I wasn't planning on planting a garden this year, but when you have gift plants and you're thankful for them, you plant them. Come on now. Oh, no, no. The first year at this house, we had to plant basil amongst the corn because the deer, and no, it was not a bird yanking seeds up out of the ground as they sprouted. The deer were munching the tops off of the corn. So we planted basil out there. It allowed the corn to grow. And that was my first year also learning that deer actually like to eat okra. I was shocked. We have not gotten peas hardly since we bought this property because the deer mow them down. I mean, they don't even let them grow. They mow the peas down, the purple hulls and all that. But last year, my okra didn't even get this big before the deer mowed all the okra down. All right, so how do we collect rabbit urine? A lot of rabbit breeders will actually use a system that is like, I tried to make a system one time. You put a piece of tin and you angle it either to the front or the back. And then when they pee, it goes down the piece of tin. Well, if you put a gutter at the end of the tin, then you've got a gutter system that you can run the pee into a bucket. And if you put a screen over the gutter, the poop just rolls off into the front on the ground. So, yeah, that's how you do it, actually. Yeah, they're doing that here now. They're just mowing it down like nobody's business. They ate the watermelon plants last year. We didn't get a single watermelon because the deer ate all the plants. Yeah. I don't know if any of y'all saw my Facebook page where I posted the picture of 8 deer out in the field. That's why we don't get. Yeah, that's. Hold on. We don't have that much of a problem with that. We don't have that much of a problem with that. And they kind of, if we put the shiny stuff up, they kind of leave it alone. And Mark has a way of keeping the crows away as well. So I'll let him tell you all that in person one day himself, but I can't put it in here. So, hey, Mr. Noble. Hey, Miss CD. Hey, everybody that I have not said hey to. Let's see. Whoops. She probably has hostas. Dear love hostas. Yep. You can put just a pan there. And we've done that in the past. We put a bucket up underneath where their favorite spot is. Because that is true. They pick a corner usually. And if you put a bucket right up under that spot, you're good to go. But the gutter system works well too because it directs all the poop over and into the front where you don't have to scratch it out from under the cage. Sister, 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 sister. Hey, look at your audience over there. Tell everybody hey. Tell everybody hey. All right, you want to move now? You want to move? You want to move? I can't see the screen, sister. I need you to move. Okay, well, we're going to have to figure this out because don't let me. Oh, no. Yeah. That happens a lot. All right, let's see. They probably laid a whooping on Hawk because the two don't get along. Mark might not want to waste a box of snuff. Not sure if he would or not. I'll have to talk to him about that. I don't know if he's heard that or not either. But we've never had any problems with, that. So what to use the rabbit urine for? I saw a video where they were using it as a pesticide and they were spraying the plants to keep the bugs off of them. So I have not tried that, but I keep saying I'm going to. Sister, your breath stinks. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, yeah, no, they don't here. Our deer are greedy. We feed them, and we even made them their own deer pea patch, and they ate all of that and the rest. But when you have, it is very good in compost. When you have 20 something in a field every single night, yeah, that's how it is here. They eat everything. And then come hunting season, come hunting season, then they're gone. They disappear and we don't see one. So yeah. We feed the deer so that we can eat the deer. Yeah, we thought when we moved in, we thought, well, if we feed them, they'll leave the crops alone. Maybe. No, they didn't. Hey, Mr. Dog. Hey, everybody. All right, y'all. Y'all got any more questions, gardening topics? I'm sorry, I don't have anything to talk about for Bigfoot here. That's a Mark show. Yeah, we have that same contract, and they bring their buddies, unfortunately, so we don't get the crops. Yep, that's it every year. We have right outside this window, one of the black astrolopes chickens went. Same here. They don't destroy that. They leave that alone. It's amazing. One of the black astrolopes went broody, and we decided to let her go ahead and hatch her off some. So her chicks are due to start hatching Tuesday or Wednesday. So I will be building a temporary enclosure around that doghouse before I can get them moved, because I don't want to move her before they hatch at this point. She might leave the nest. I'd rather move her with the chicks somewhere else. And then had another one out in the other pen go broody. So she's got some chicks under her, and she will be due, I want to say, the start of June. So when we get chicks hatched, we will definitely be sharing chick pics. I can guarantee you. The one up here, she has some of the Easter egg or chick eggs under her. So she's got a couple of black astrolabe eggs, but she's mostly got the Easter egg or chicks, or Easter egg or chicken eggs. And then the other one at the end of, chick pics, at the black astrolabe in the pen down there, she's got only black astrolabe eggs. Black astrolabe, they lay a medium size brown egg, but they are one of the top dual purpose breeds. That is a breed you can hatch true to parent. There's a lot of breeds out there that are different types of hybrid type chickens that you cannot breed them, get a rooster of it and hatch eggs, that will be same as the parents. There's a lot of those out there that are extremely good egg layers, but I want to be able to continue having the chickens that lay the good eggs. So that's why we settled on black astrolopes. Like I said, they are a good dual purpose breed because when you hatch chicks, you have to have a plan for the chicks themselves. And a white leghorn, I don't know if anybody has seen a white leghorn chicken. There is not an ounce of meat on those chickens. They are the number one chicken out there that you can, hatch eggs off of, true to their parents. They lay an egg just about every single day, every day of the year, but they don't have any meat on them. So you cannot sustainably hatch white leghorns, if that makes sense, because your ratio of roosters to hens when you hatch them yourself is not very good. So we did the black astrolop so that we could have a plan for the roosters, because you hatch a lot of roosters, and then the hens will lay as well. Yeah, I do 40 below zero. Yeah, that's a whole lot of no. That's a whole lot of no. And Orpingtons is one of my favorites, but they don't lay as well as the astrolopes. So I'm glad they left and you didn't have to use that. Yeah, Miss Jean, I'm sorry. I will only visit you in the summer. I don't do cold, and I definitely don't do negative 40. Mm-mm. I barely do positive 40. Yeah, I have seen some places that they are charging arms and legs for them hatching eggs this year. Ducks are laying. Yep. Yep. It's that time. The quail should be laying now. Our guineas are laying. Exactly. That's it. Exactly. Time to make the grandkids move. I'm sorry. Yes, a lot of people. I hear all these people down here going, "Oh, I miss the snow. I want to live up north. Let's go to Wyoming and just live there." And I'm like, no, no. I need a growing season. First of all, I need a growing season, and I need it to stay above 10. I prefer it stay above 32 personally, but yeah, no. Right? Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't know what our temps were today, but they was a little hot and humid. I can tell you that. Oh, you've got the Indian runners, or had the Indian. Ducks are nasty critters. Ducks are nasty critters. If you get the Coturnix quail, they're easy to raise. I've always raised Coturnix. Every time we have tried to do the Bob White, they they're worse than turkeys. They like to drown themselves and kill themselves and find all sorts of different ways to not raise up. So yeah, ducks are nasty critters. Nasty, nasty critters. Parts of me is glad we're down to the one duck. Um, but a lot of me misses the ducks. But no, I don't miss the nasty. How are you doing, Mr. Keith? Glad you could join us. Yeah, herbal medicine is a good medicine. I feel like if we did more with herbs and stuff, we wouldn't need as much of the rest of it. Now, I am going to take some of the rest of it as well if needed, but I like to do as much natural as I can. So, my husband's favorite breed is the Dominicers. My mama's favorite breed is the Rhode Island, and Tom is a broad-breasted bourbon, I think. But yeah, Mark likes the Domineckers, and I like the Orpingtons, but we're going to raise Axolotls. One day I might get some Orpingtons back. So my mama loved them. I don't like them chickens, but my mama loved them Rhode Islands. All right, guys. If you got a prayer request, I'll put it in the comments. If you got a question, I'll try to answer it. But we're going to start getting off of here. Sister has made her appearance. I may have to go get some ice cream. We'll see. Nothing else. I think I am going to go get a drink or something, though. I feel like I need to get out. Humanity and emotion. Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of issues with our emotional state these days. We do. A lot of people. I don't remember having as many people having anxiety and depression when I was growing up as we do now. So thank you, Mr. Randall. You have a good night too. Well, guys, y'all keep all those it is. That is true. Y'all keep all those prayer requests that Mark mentions in your thoughts, and keep them in your prayers. Our friends the Saturdays, they've got a long road ahead of them. I wouldn't wish what they're going through on nobody, but I know there's a lot of people going through it. So make sure that you keep them in your prayers. A new car, nice. Now I know that there is a camp out, but it's a private event, so we're not talking about it on here. That's not our event either. So make sure you talk to the people that is over that event, and don't be mentioning it a lot. So our turkey thought he was a guinea until the guineas become of age and set him straight. All right, like I said, y'all remember those prayer requests that Mark mentions. Keep everybody in our chat that is requested prayers. Y'all keep them in your thoughts. Keep them in your prayers. Y'all, I guess I'm gonna head on off of here. I don't have a lot to talk about since I don't know a lot about Bigfoot and stuff, but I don't have a lot of paranormal going on right now either. So, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna head on off of here. Y'all have a good night. See y'all soon. Oh, what? Here we go. Keep that one in your prayers, guys. Hey, Mr. Denton. Oh, that sounds like fun. All right. Night, guys. See y'all later.